There are so many new perfume releases every single week. Not all of these are worth getting your nose on, so let's talk about each and every one of them, what I think is worth it and what I think is not. Caramel Swirl from Clean Reserve is not your usual Clean Reserve second skin scent. This is a very beautiful gourmand that doesn't feel too heavy. If you like Bianco Latte, but you want something lighter and juicier, this is mango and caramel with a bit of a musky skin scent. I wore this yesterday, it lasted all day, and then I put on this same sweatshirt that I wore at the end of the night last night. I wore it this morning, and a cloud around me of this scent was happening, so it clearly lasts a really long time on clothes. 1111 Moon from Lake and Sky is not for me, and I usually love the 1111 fragrances. When I hear 1111 Moon, I think you're gonna get the original 1111 DNA with something that feels like a nighttime cozy kind of fragrance. It's going to smell ethereal, and this is not that. This is a coconut fragrance. The coconut goes very sunscreeny on my skin. The opening I actually really like. I feel like I get a little bit of the 1111 DNA, but the dry down, it just really, it doesn't work for me. Matilda from By Rosie Jane. I have really mixed feelings about this right now. If I was wearing this and reporting back to you in the summertime, I would love this. But right now, I am in the middle of a Pacific Northwest winter. I don't want to be wearing tropical passion fruit forward fragrances. It's juicy and it doesn't smell like cat pee. A lot of the time people say that passion fruit fragrances smell like cat pee on them. I have tried fragrances where that's happened to me. This is not one of them. I just am not going to recommend that you go and smell this until you're going on a tropical vacation or until you are dealing with hot weather. Comme Idole Peach and Roses is absolutely divine. It is so juicy and it's such a good perfumey perfume. If you like a good fruity floral, I think you would like this. Now, if you're not a rose forward perfume lover, I still think you should try this out and tell me what you end up thinking. I'm very picky about rose fragrances, but I've been really liking some of them lately. And this is one that I really like because it opens up with a really strong, juicy peach, and then you get a bit of that rose, but it feels like you're smelling fresh roses at a rose garden. It doesn't smell like a perfumey rose note. And then red berries comes into play in this a little bit later on the dry down, and it adds just a little bit more of a tart crispness. I love this scent. Vanilla Skin, the body oil. I'm not going to spend much time on this because you probably already know about the Vanilla Skin body mist and the Vanilla Skin perfume. This is a little bit different from those though, which is why I want to mention it. This is a bit more of a strong, creamy vanilla, a little bit less of the spice. It just works really well. The way I wear body oils from Phlur is I will put 1 or 2 pumps on each of my wrists, and then I'll like rub them together, and then I'll rub it all around my arms and wrists. That's strong enough of a vanilla scent for me. Almond Milk from Mischief Academy. If you love almond forward fragrances, I highly suggest sampling this, not blind buying it. I don't think anything is blind buy safe, but especially not almond milk, but I do really like this scent. I was expecting almond milk, and instead I get a really, really strong cotton accord, very similar to the cotton accord in Queening from Mind Games, or just similar to the smell of your laundry when you're taking it out of the dryer. And then alongside that cotton note is this warm, starchy rice with almond milk poured into the warm, starchy rice, and just a hint of sprinkling of sugar. This is something I do suggest trying because it's really good, but it is absolutely not blind buy safe. To talk about Pacifica poorly hurts my heart. They're great, affordable fragrances, skincare, hair care, but Sugared Apricot and Vanilla Whip are just not anything unique. Do I like them? Yes, but they are really only for people who like really light second skin scents. So if you like Glossier You Phlur, that one's a second skin scent, really, really light. You can really only smell it if you get really close to your skin or really close to somebody that's wearing it. That's the kind of fragrances that these are. And Vanilla Whip is just really uninspiring. It's just a really basic vanilla. It is good though. So if you want something that just smells barely there vanilla, it's good. Now, sugared apricot, I feel a little bit differently about. I do think come springtime, I might fall in love with this fragrance, but as of now, because it's not long lasting, because it's just really simple apricot with a little bit of sugar on it, I don't think I'm going to try and wear it again until springtime. Flower Bomb Pretty Peony is such a beautiful, flirty, girly fragrance. I feel like I will be reaching for this a lot more in the spring and summertime. In the fall and winter, I feel that I reach for fragrances that would be a lot more Wednesday Addams. And in the spring and summertime, I feel like my vibes are a lot more Enid Sinclair, Wednesday's best friend. And that is what Pretty Peony is, but it's a lot more elegant. Enid is in high school. I'm talking, this is like grown up pretty. This feels like the hot girl next door that is just really kind and bakes you cookies just because you're her neighbor. It's strawberries and peony and a little bit of the Flower Bomb DNA. It's just so fun and carefree. Chasing Sunsets from Maison Margiela Replica. I would have thought that just like the other tropical perfumes I've mentioned, I would only wear this in the summertime. But no, this is something I would wear all year round. This smells like mango juice with some citrus juice in there as well. It's creamy, it's sweet, it's juicy and refreshing, but you're also getting a cardamom note, which is chef's kiss. I love that note in perfumery. It adds depth and complexity and groundedness. And then you've got creamy sandalwood. A sandalwood note that is creamy has very slowly become one of my favorite notes in perfumery. I find it to be quite relaxing and cocooning. Athena from Finery is inspired by Burberry Goddess. If you want 100% dupe of Burberry Goddess, do not get this. This feels like a flanker of Burberry Goddess. It feels really juicy, almost peach-like in the opening with a ton of vanilla, and as it dries down, you start to get a bit more of the lavender and more of the vanilla qualities that feel Burberry Goddess-like. But this is not a perfumey perfume at all. This is a very beautiful, juicy vanilla. I have a bit of a hot take on the Phlur hair and body mists, Berry Cream and Matcha Milk. Berry Cream I would never wear by itself because it smells like those strawberries and cream hard candies that you will find your grandparents have. It just gives me that scent memory and I don't love it for that reason. But it does smell good. Now Matcha Milk, I have an amazing scent memory with. I went on my honeymoon recently in Hawaii. We took a trip to the Kauai Juice Company nearly every day, and almost every time I got a matcha nut milk. So it is matcha with macadamia nut and Tahitian vanilla and a little bit of honey. It is so, so good. And that's exactly what matcha milk smells like. I love these two layered together. It again reminds me of my honeymoon. There was a morning where we went to a coffee shop and I got a matcha latte that was iced and they had fresh strawberries and cream put into it. And this smells exactly like that. And it was such a good matcha drink. So the fact that this reminds me of my honeymoon and that these two together remind me of my honeymoon, it's really delightful and it's fun and it's gourmand, but it's like a light, fluffy gourmand. It almost has like a marshmallow quality to it. So it feels like pillowy and soft. Gucci The Alchemist Garden has come out with 2 new fragrances, Ylang Ambrato and Lignum Idealis. These are absolutely not crowd pleasers. These are quite artistic. They're quite complex. They are fragrances I feel if you went to an art museum or an opening of an art gallery, you would smell people that smelled like this. And when you walk by them, you're thinking, wow, they smell so interesting. Now, Ylang Ambrato smells spicy, but also somehow creamy and grounding. There's tonka bean and sandalwood, and the ylang in here, that's a floral note that generally pulls very tropical. It doesn't pull tropical at all. It adds this really nice creamy sweetness. There's also really grounding, all-encompassing notes that just make me feel really cozy. It feels like a late night out with somebody that is really cool that you just met at that art gallery that I was talking about earlier. Lignum Idealis smells like somebody who lives outside of the city. They live in a cottage in the woods, and they also have an art studio adjacent to their cottage. They get up in the morning, they make their hot cup of coffee, and they go on a walk in the woods where they quite frequently encounter deer, and the deer are not perturbed by them at all. And you can smell the beautiful sequoia trees around you, and then they walk back to their art studio and they start painting. And that's what this smells like to me. This is something where when I am in the right mood, I may want to put it on to entice a certain kind of creativity to come out of me when I am creating art. If you want more videos like this, please let me know in the comments, and I will keep doing perfume haul, honest reviews for you. Feel free to subscribe to my page and comment below. I would love to hang out with you in the comments.